Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a good Saturday morning. A little foggy outside this morning, I will say that. So let me show you here what I did yesterday. Get my light dug out, there we go. Okay, there we are. Well, as you can see, and let me see here. There's looking down to the top of the block, and there's the light down below. So yesterday, I actually had one of my neighbors stop by who, no, he's been a mechanic for years. But had him take a look at this, that way, see what he thought. And anyway, he let me borrow his sleeve puller, and as you can see, I got the sleeve pulled out, and of course got the piston pulled out. And I'll give you a underbelly view. There we are. There's the crank, and right there, yeah, yep, there we are. Had to get my camera focused. Right there is where the rod and cap go, hook onto the crank. But anyway, I just wanted him to stop by and just see what he thought about everything. And a couple things he told me to check out and to look for is on the rod and cap itself, on that rod bearing. I got laying over here on a box. Okay, right here's the cap. He said if you see like copper colored and that kind of stuff into that bearing, he said that that means it needs to be replaced. However well you can see that on camera, right down through there, there is no copper showing at all. And I got here's the rod side, and we're the same way right there as well. Everything looks good. And so at this point, I had thought about maybe putting new rods and new rod bearings into it, but after seeing that, and like I say, no, my neighbor there, he's worked on diesel motors for, he said ever since he was a little kid, and he's in his 60s now, so he better know something. But after he looked at the bearing, he said those are good. There's nothing wrong with them. And so what I'm gonna do right now is, of course, right there's the piston, and right there, get out here in the daylight, you can see how that top ring is kicked, well, under itself, so to speak. I think the top ring is what they call the compression ring, if I remember right. Then you can see the second ring down from that. Right there's a wear spot, right there's a blank spot, right there's another wear spot. And so the rings have gone bad. So at this point, what I'm planning on doing after talking to him is, of course, I'll put another piston, keep the same rod, there's nothing wrong with it. But put another piston and put another sleeve right here into cylinder number 1 and be good to go. Because he also told me something else to look out for. Get out here in the daylight where you can see it better. Would be for any what they call capitation, or any little like pit holes in the sleeve wall on the outside, from where it's gotten hot and that kind of stuff from age and over time. And so far, that's just water that you see on there. But so far, and those right there, that's just like a little mark on the metal. That's not a hole or anything. But so far though, they look, it looks new on the outside still. And so he did tell me, he said that if you found a bunch of little pit holes in the outside of that sleeve, he said then yes, you would want to put all new sleeves into it. However, there's nothing. It's good. And I looked on the cylinder 2, because once I took the sleeve out, I could see down through there and see, yeah, there we go. You can see the next sleeve. Right here is cylinder 2 in the sleeve, and right there you can see the outside of it. Same thing. It looks good. Nothing. No pits, no little holes, nothing. And so, like I say, it's got, before I took that all out of there, we had talked about putting, like I say, new rods and new rod bearings and new rings into everything. However, after seeing that on cylinder number 1, we're not even going to mess with the rest of it. And like my neighbor said, what happened with this motor was something broke. It did not wear out. And so that makes a big difference when something just simply breaks as opposed to wearing out. And I asked my dad again yesterday, and he said, just roughly guessing, this tractor has approximately 4,000 hours, give or take a little bit, on the major overhaul that it was given back in the, he thinks, probably late 90s. And so, now if this was original and it had never been replaced, then yeah, it would definitely be time for an overhaul. However, since it's already been majored once, and like I say, I'm not seeing anything wrong with those rod bearings. Same thing with that sleeve. The sleeve looks good. And so, and like I said, with like my neighbor said, with that ring going bad, it's not a wear problem. It's something broke. And so that's why I say at this point I'm planning on just simply putting a new sleeve and a new piston. Take the old piston off the rod and put the new piston on. And somebody just put a new piston and a new sleeve and new rings on cylinder number 1 and be good to go again. Because like I say, this tractor is not our main tractor anymore. We used to pull our 20-foot mounted bean planter with it. But back in 2014 is when we got that big Kinsey planter that I've got videos posted on here of. And so this tractor here, the most it gets used for is in the springtime, running our seed cart. And of course right there's the old tandem truck. But right there's our seed cart for hauling seed beans and seed corn in the hard boxes to either the corn or bean planters. And so, with it not being our main tractor anymore, that's why we're just going to keep it as is. And like I say, with it, the way everything else is turning out and looking good all inside, other than a broke ring, we're going to keep it as is and be good to go. And like I've already said, I've got the head up at that guy that I've had work on the heads off of my Allis-Chalmers WD and WD-45. And so he'll check the head on this thing, pull the injectors, check those, make sure they're all good to go. And so we put a new gasket kit and all that kind of stuff back into it and be back up running again. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what was happening on another update. And I'm also going to take, since I got the oil pan off yesterday, in fact, right there's the tie rod laying here on this pallet along with the oil pan. Got that dropped out. You can see all the crud and dirt there in the oil pan. I'm going to take gas and wash all that out, clean it all up good, and be good to go there as well. So yeah, that's just a little update as what's happening here on this motor. And now I'm pretty much at the point of I'm going to have to make contact with, well, it's actually the same guy that I took the head off this thing to. He said that he could get me the parts all lined up for this thing, and so I'm going to be making contact with him and getting a new piston, rings, sleeve, and be good to go again. And so, in fact, at that time, I'll just see how well I can video it. I might be able to maybe video some of trying to get the sleeve put back down into the block, just depending on how everything works out. And so yeah, that's just another little quick update here of what's happening on this tractor. So take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.